If you're new, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to be a part of my Danii Fam. You can call me Rashida, you can call me Danii, you can call me Elle, you can call me anything, you can call me Queen. Yeah. So on my channel, I like to focus on career type videos, you know, as an older adult, going back to school, you know, getting a job, having a job, keeping job, anything. That was my dog, I'm sorry. Anything employment related. So I thought today's video would be a good idea to record what hiring managers want from you. What does a hiring manager really want from you? And these things may seem pretty obvious and self-explanatory, but coming from a hiring manager myself, people are not coming prepared. People are not doing these things. And it's just like, when I was looking for work, you know, a couple of years ago, I was on Google day and night looking at tips, looking at interview questions, looking at how to dress on Pinterest. You can find anything on the internet. The internet is a wealth of information. I mean, I just don't understand why people don't just turn their phone on and look on Google. But however, if you're interested in my tips, keep watching. I am now a hiring manager and I have several interviews coming up. I've been interviewing since I got into this position in February. Interviewing wasn't really hard for me to do because my previous boss used to let me interview in his absence. So I would interview and hire people for him. So I pretty much know what type of questions to ask. I know how an interview should be conducted. I've been in several of them myself, and I watch the recruiter's body language. I see how I listen to the type of questions they ask me, which are like all over the internet, so you can Google them any time of day. But these are some of the tips that I wanted to put together for you guys. No matter what your age is, going back into the workforce, you're 18, 25, 37, 57. It's all the same. It has changed up a little bit, the interviewer's style, but pretty much it's the same type of information. So the first thing a hiring manager wants from you is to be smiling and to be dressed appropriately. You dress for the job you want. Now, if you're going to go work at Burger King, I mean, I've seen people like teenagers come in with jeans and a t-shirt on. I'm not really sure how food services, how they want you to dress, but just be dressed appropriately. You want to have on a nice shirt if you're a man and a nice pair of pants, a decent, nice, clean pair of shoes. Make sure you shave if you have a beard. Just make sure you look nice and touched up. Nobody wants to see a rough, you know, guy coming in that looks like he hasn't shaved in days. His hair is all over the place. Don't matter, black, white, whatever. Just make yourself look nice and presentable. And ladies, come on, don't come into an interview with a wrinkled shirt on, or your slacks or your skirt is wrinkled and your hair is not done, or your wig is slipping back. Like, you want to fix the baby hairs and all that, just to make it look nice and presentable. Just have something, even if you can't afford to invest in a suit, just make yourself look nice and presentable. You can walk into a job interview for anything wearing a nice, clean, iron blouse, a pair of slacks, a nice belt, and a decent pair of shoes. Make sure you're not wearing too much makeup. The second thing that me, a hiring manager, wants from you as an applicant is to shake their hand. You need to shake the hand of the person that's interviewing you. Disclaimer, sorry, my dog is looking out the window and she's getting distracted and it's making me get distracted. Sorry. It's to shake their hands. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a female. If you're going into interview with somebody, you need to give that interviewer a firm handshake. Don't give them one of these, like when I reach my hand out to shake a candidate's hand and they go like this with their fingers. That's whack. Like, you don't shake hands like that, especially if you want a job and you want them to think that you're assertive. That handshake ain't doing it. Another thing that hiring managers want from you, I'm not going to put this in a number detail, even though I did start that. I'm not going to say numbers anymore because these are obvious and I have hundreds of tips. The next thing that hiring manager is going to want from you is keep eye contact. Keep eye contact with them. If they ask you a question, which I am guilty of myself, plenty of times I've been in interviews where they ask me something and I get nervous and I look away like this and I go, well, you know, and I get ready to answer the question and I look away. They do not like that because it seems ingenuine, like you have something to hide or you're getting ready to lie about it. If you keep looking at them the way I'm looking at this camera and I'm giving it eye contact and they ask you a question, so tell me about the last time you helped a patient or a customer and you want to just answer that question looking at the camera. You want to answer that question the way I'm looking at the camera right now. Well, the last time I helped a patient or a customer was when blah, 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 and such and such and such happened and whatever. So I'm not looking away. I'm looking directly at the camera. I'm blinking in a normal pace. I'm not like going like that, and I'm not, you know, frantically looking around. I'm not staring, but I'm looking at the camera and I'm giving you eye contact. That's what they need, eye contact. Next thing is to speak intelligently and clearly the way I'm speaking right now. You don't want to sound like a robot, but you want to sound assertive and confident, like you know what you're talking about. Don't say like I just did. You want to express yourself in the best way you know how, intelligently and clearly. Yes, Miss So-and-so, I did have an incident where I did blah, 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 or I was in charge of my lighting. I was in charge of XYZ. Just speak intelligently and clearly. You don't know how many times I've interviewed people where I just don't know what's coming out of their mouth. They're just like mumbling and looking around and laughing, and it's just way, way inappropriate, and they basically don't get the job. Another thing that I would tell you guys, what hiring managers want from you, is to bring extra copies of your resume, bring a pen, and bring a notepad. The moment somebody comes to my door for an interview and they do not have a pen, and they sit down in my chair, they don't have a pen, there's no paper out, they don't want to take notes, that's basically like, I'm just here because you're hiring and I filled out the application online. Like, they don't have a pen out, they're not ready to take notes, they're not serious about the position, they're just here to listen to what I'm saying and maybe throw in a couple of answers here and there. When you come to my door, or any hiring manager's office for an interview, and you are not prepared to take notes, I can already guarantee you that they're not going to consider you for the position because you don't look serious enough. When I go on job interviews, I have a pen, I have my notebook, I take notes, and I ask questions. Which leads me to my next, what hiring managers want from you. Guys, listen, this is like the most important thing you could do in an interview. If you do nothing else, please do this. Ask questions. At the end of your interview, after your recruiter has given you all the information about the job, or they gave you all the tips, all the information, they told you about the hours, about the facility, the store, whatever it is that you're interviewing for. Most important thing that you need and have to do is to say yes when they ask you if you have any questions. Please don't ever say no, because after they just talk and talk and talk and gave you all that information for the job you applied for that you obviously want and need, and you don't have any questions for them, that's basically like,
so you're really not serious about this job. I'm gonna look at the next candidate.
What do you mean you don't have any questions? You have to ask questions. And I'm going to give you the number one question that I always ask at my interviews, and when people interview with me, it makes me go like this and listen a little bit more because I know that they're serious. So when I was applying for this job that I currently have, I had two questions, and one of them was a top question that they told me later on. That was a really, really good question. And this was to the president of the campus that I applied to. The president of the campus, a hospital campus. The question that I asked him was, and I'll put it down here so you can read it, is what would a typical day look like for the person who's in this role? And another question would be, what do you expect from me in the first 90 days of me getting this position? Those two questions are the top questions. I've had two directors tell me that this was a good question, and a campus president tell me that this was a good question. And I know that it is. It's on Google. That's where I got it from. This just shows that you are serious about the position. You really, really want the job. You want to learn as much as you can. And if you're interested in the first 90 days of the position, that means that you're trying to be a rock star. You want to come into this new position with your boots on, ready to work, ready to learn, ready to ask as many questions as possible, and needing to know what happens in the first 90 days. How many people am I going to be managing? How many customers do you expect? What kind of, doesn't matter, marketing, retail, healthcare, law, whatever position you're trying to go into, the first 90 days, you're going to be doing a lot of learning. You're going to be doing a lot of meeting people. You also want to know who are the team players that I need to know in this position as well. That means you are ready to network and you're ready to find out who can I go to if I have a question about this, or who can help me, who better to ask for a question like this. And wanting to know what a typical day looks like in the role is, yes, I'm ready to work. I don't know what kind of challenges are going to come to me in this role, but I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to learn. I'm going to ask questions, and I'm going to take whatever head-on situations come my way. I don't know everything in the first day, obviously, but I'm going to try my best and just continuously ask questions to find out how I'm going to be better in this role. Trust me, I promise you, ask those 2 questions and they will be more than likely to hire you just because you asked those questions and because you took the time. Not only did you watch my video, but you might want to just go to Google and search it up on your own. But that's my video for today, guys. If you have any questions about any job, employment, career related, just go ahead and shoot me a email. I was going to say text me, but you don't have my number. You can email me at the email that's in my description box, and also just leave me some comments in the comment section. How many job interviews have you guys been on? Are you going on any job interviews? We're coming down to the end of the year. January 2020 is going to be here before you can blink your eyes. Life is going by so fast. And usually the beginning of the year is where people start making their goals and expectations and looking for new jobs, starting new careers. So I figured what better way to help you guys on that road is to just make this video not too long, I hope, and just let me know in the comment section what you think. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join the Danii Fam. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!